whether if he has that damage, you have to go down pit road. I think it might have not have been open just yet. I think it might be open now, so I think he'll be crawling his way, drifting sideways into the pit lane. He'll try to get as much of the damage fixed as possible. And you mentioned the modified race, the winner last week there, Aaron Maroney. He's not going to be much of a factor tonight as he was involved in that huge wreck. That was big. We were talking about it the entire time, and then now it's finally arrived. And look at this top 5 now. I talked about Iowa and how the PPM drivers were surrounding Hunter Johnson. It's looking the same again once more.
Yeah, and that is a sea of blue and I think yellow. Would you consider that yellow?
Yeah, like the neon yellow.
All right, well, yeah, that is a sea of blue and yellow. And you also see a Keel Hankins under the SPM Racing banner. He has moved himself into the top 5. I don't see a lot of SPM cars tonight. I think Chris Wheel he's currently sitting 14th back there. I don't see Carson Poindexter, and obviously I'm in the booth right now. So, that's your top 5 right now. Wow, I can't believe how big that wreck was.
I can't either, man. As another guy up in this top 10 now we haven't really talked about, Latham Joyner, now in 6th place in that 33 car. He did a nice job avoiding that incident, and he had a top 10 run going last week at Iowa, too.
I don't see a lot of SPM cars.
Unfortunately, he got caught up in a wreck there as well. Looks like William Schmidt, you see that front end damage in 7th. He was just involved in the past incident, but it looks like he's going to stay out. And a guy that's in the top 10 we haven't talked about much either, Mitch Hobbs, up there in that 89.
That is true. And Michael Bianchini, he didn't really have to car his way through the field as much because that wreck pretty much opened the door for him to get back up into this fight. And he's a couple rows deep behind, so he still has a little more work to do, but way less work than he had to do before that yellow came out. But right now, we are going to approach another green flag restart, this time with Hunter Johnson and another newcomer to the outside. That's Corey Hart in this 77. We'll take the green flag once more. Lap number 38, back green at Dover.
Hunter started on the gas really early right there.
Hey, he's been doing it all race. He's got a bit of a jump into turn number 1, but he's got a lot of blue and yellow right behind him.
Yeah, continues to file with those PPM cars. They seem to file into line. Corey Hart's lost that spot to the 49 of Sartaj Man, so he'll file together, and they'll work together.
Oh, Bianchini in the wall.
Trap. Yeah, Bianchini into the outside wall, and that wall comes up quick. He's going to have to scramble so that these drivers go around him, and he doesn't get any other contact.
We're back.
We stay green right now. Hunter Johnson still in the lead.
Yeah, so one car on the wall right there across the finish line. That I think was a PPM car. I'm not sure which one.
I think that was Andy McDowell back there.
Yeah, McDowell had been involved in that most recent incident as someone almost went around right there, but fortunately keeps it going.
Yeah, you saw Kane Nackings cut off. Oh, almost shoved him down, shoved that 33 down to the apron. He is all over that back bumper. He is definitely not happy with that.
Oh, another car on the wall right there. That might be Andy.
Oh, we got a car around.
That's Nick Roten in the 26.
I think Max Yerk involved in there as well. The 73, a Mobile One Racing entry. I think both of them were involved. This time around, a huge flip for that 73. He goes up and over. I see the 58. I believe that's Dominic Howe. He's involved as well. We'll take a replay what happened there. It was coming off of the final corner there, and that wall came up quick. Kind of swallowed up a couple drivers there, and we'll take a look and see what happened. I think, huge hit into the outside wall.
Yeah, it looks like there was earlier contact in car with Jill Burigi, and looks like Hunter Rupp, and that 73 car does a kickflip right here. Whoa.
That's Chris Warner.
Yeah, Chris Warner.
Yeah, like you said, there was somebody around, I think, before Andy even hit the wall, because we saw Joe up near that outside before Chris and Nick Roten piled in, so somebody got out of shape way up at the front. We'll have to see where it happened. Yeah, Hunter Rupp in the 61, I think, got turned by somebody. And there's Max going the wall, and his teammate Nick Roten just nowhere to go. And talk about a team killer. Supreme iRenting division just took a big hit, too.
Yeah, that was a huge pile up there on the front straightaway. Again, coming off of turn 4, it's a trouble spot for a lot of these drivers. They're hitting that outside wall, and since that wall comes up quick and that understeer kind of plays a factor when you're trying to get all the throttle in through those corners, that could be the result of what happened there. And you see the 61 of Hunter Rupp, it turned around, he hit the inside wall, but he was able to save it, and then they go right in front of him. And I think he had another close call there. He had it with the big one. He has another one this time around.
Yeah, and he did a good job avoiding the guys that spun around him as well. So Hunter Rupp, despite spinning and being part of the initial incident. That's 2 wrecks in a row. He's done a really good job of avoiding all the carnage. So luck definitely on that 61 side here in the late stages of this race.
So another yellow on lap number 40, I believe 41. And we'll have just 13 laps to go this time by Hunter Johnson. Continues to lead this event. You're looking at the top 5 right now. They really didn't change too much after that wreck. And you're looking at the top 5 standings as they look right now. You see Hunter Johnson, Sartaj Man, Corey Hart, Caden Atkins, and there's Jackson Menshew also up there as well. But I don't think he was initially part of that top 5. I think we'll just see what happens. I think he was just saying hi to the guys up front, and he'll peek back to where he is on the starting order right now. So we're approaching the end of this race, and as this progressed, we've seen a huge amount of yellows, huge amount of pileups with a handful of different drivers, and it has taken out a majority of pretty strong drivers that were up here in the field.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Not you.
All right. But yeah, this race got pretty flipped on its head here. Of course, Hunter's still the dominant car of the race, but second race in a row, of course, with last week that we saw Sartaj Man appear in this top 5 from pretty much out of nowhere. We'll have to see if he can keep his way up there. And now with the way this has all panned out, Latham Joyner now in that top 5 after getting himself in the top 10. So that 33 car definitely his best run of the season up to this point. We see Christopher Weil in that pink car back there. Looks like he is in the top 10 for the first time tonight, which will put the 2 SPM cars in the field. Looks like they'll line up right behind each other.
Yeah, and one thing to know before we go green flag racing, and got an update from kind of the management room here. We are live on MaxspeedTV, so if you're watching on the K1 Racing Network, you can also tune in to MaxspeedTV's live stream. We are also on there as well. But we had those issues sorted out with being on MaxspeedTV, considering that this is a licensed pretty much series of MaxspeedTV, and we're having it on KBRN this time around. But we are on MaxspeedTV as well. So if you want to catch that action over there, you can do so. We'll be here still. We'll be here covering all the action until we reach the checkered flag. And right now, the man with the sights on that checkered flag for the second time this season and the second time in a row is Hunter Johnson. If he can go back-to-back this time at Iowa and Dover, that really sets a stand. That really sets a statement to all of these other drivers that, hey, I'm going for this championship and I'm not stopping. I can win every race, and I'm pretty much one of the most dominant cars in the field.
Oh, yeah, and I think a prior season, I don't know if it was Hunter or someone else. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Dewey, if you know anything about it. One driver, I'm pretty sure, won a majority of the races, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Hunter does the same.
Yeah, I'm not sure about last season particularly, but there has been one season of iSCAR Street Stocks. I want to say it was season 4 or season 5, somewhere in that neighborhood, that Hunter won 5 of the 6 scheduled races, and Ezekiel saying season 5 and season 6 that did occur. So Hunter definitely one of the best Street Stock Series drivers we have, and according to Gabe Allen, if Hunter wins tonight, he will pass Logan Clampett in all-time iSCAR victories.
Boy, that would be a huge accomplishment for him if he can take the checkered flag tonight. And with just, I believe, 10 laps remaining, we'll take the 1 green signal this time by if the pace car gets its lights off, and it does. So we'll take the green flag this time by. And what an accomplishment that would be for Hunter Johnson if he can take the all-time win list in iSCAR with this win in his best series. You know, Hunter Johnson, a very strong driver. You saw him last Friday in the Trey Shuttlesworth Photography IndyCar series. He had a dominant run there. Of course, he was caught up in a little trouble late in the running, but nonetheless, he still proved to a lot of the other drivers that he's one of the best drivers in the series. And when it comes down to street stocks, I think everybody gets the gist of what that 12 car can do with that team so far. But again, like Iowa, he's going to have to fight off those PPM drivers who are most likely going to work together in the draft. And that's pretty much what we're going to see, and something to look out for as they take the green flag. But the pace car will line into turn 3 and 4. They'll go 2 by 2 and double up all the way around. You see the 33 and the 69. They file up in row number 3, so it's the first time they've showed up there as well. Mitch Hobbs, Kilowa Hankins down in row number 4. Pace car will line off. Hunter Johnson, Sartaj Man leads the field back to
Another jump.
Green flag, green flag.
Another jump, not too far away this time for that 12 car. You see the 77 of Corey Hart's a little closer than the last restart, and with the 22 of K-Nex behind them. And looks like Sartaj, man, stuck on the outside. He might fall out. That's Jackson Menchu in the 69 car right behind him.
Yeah, Sartaj unfortunately did not get a good restart there, and he's dropped already 4 or 5 spots. That'll put Caden Atkins up into 3rd, and the 33 of Latham Joyner now into 4th. And into the top 5 for the first time tonight as well is that 72 of Khalil Hankins. And here we have a challenge for the lead as Corey H. Hart's trying to make the bottom work around Hunter Johnson, but Hunter holding tight on that bottom side. And it'll be a big risk if anybody tries the high side. And there's Caden Atkins into the inside wall, and that's going to be another huge crash here. Christopher Weil up and over. Menchu in there as well.
Bianchini's in there.
They're still piling into this thing. Bianchini's barrel rolling. Jonathan Jones over the wall.
Oh my
barrel
goodness.
rolling into the grass here. And man, another big one.
Caden Atkins got turned around, and that started a chain reaction with everyone behind them. And pile up, including multiple drivers. That was Jackson Menchu. There's Christopher Weil, Michael Bianchini, who we were talking about for most of this race. He gets involved as well. And look at the huge flips by a lot of these drivers, including the 06 of Jonathan Jones, as everyone piles in.
Klein in there. There you see Jones go over the wall. A couple of our race picks, unfortunately, in that one. Yeah, I think Atkins just got hooked, unfortunately, by that 33 of Latham Joyner here coming out of turn number 2. So we talked about turn 2 in the pre-race, and we finally see it here with about 8 or so laps to go. Finally reared its ugly head, and you know, when a car goes around on the backstretch at Dover like that, you have absolutely nowhere to go, and everybody piles in.
This Keola Hankins, obviously, another wreck avoidance for him. He escapes with little to no damage. So, yeah, that's another break for him, as he's still going to be up towards the top of the field.
Boy, Keola Hankins was able to get around that on the outside, so he was involved in the big one, but he's not involved in this one as well. You're looking at the onboard cameras brought to you by EO Media Super Mix, among the sponsors for our onboard cameras. But
well, we've seen it twice.
Yeah, we have. So I don't think it's too surprising right now. But Corey Hart's, he has some work to do, and he has to try and find a way around the bottom. It's hard to do so. You really can't really work the bottom unless you make a move down to the bottom on the straightaway, which is already hard to do because Hunter Johnson's already blocking down there. And then if you try to move him, you have the risk of potentially turning him and possibly getting yourself involved in a wreck, and that could tarnish your chase for the race win in race number 2. And you're looking at Connor Brandon in the front of the field. He's a damaged lap car. He's another proximity driver that's probably rooting for the guy right behind him to take the race win once again and give that team an extra boost within the points standings. And he's already the points leader, so that'll be an extra help for them in this series as well. So we'll take another couple laps around, and Hunter Johnson will lead the field once more to green. A PPM car behind him. We saw Connor Brandon smack the pit wall in there. Okay, another similar incident with Brian Mullen when he went over on the pit road. I think a lot of drivers are having trouble down pit road.
Well, I think Connor's might have been intentional. He's already like a bunch of laps down, and you couldn't see the front of his car. But yeah, and with that huge wreck we just had, we see some more new faces in this top 10. Of course, Corey H. Hart still in second place. Keola Hankins now up into third. Mitch Hobbs in the 89 now up in the fourth place. And a guy we haven't mentioned a single time all night tonight, that 82 of Brendan Warwas, now in sixth place with a chance to win this thing late.
Yeah, and behind the top 2 guys, the guys behind them are looking for not only a win here today, but their first... Oh, I'm not muted. And the guys behind the top 2 cars and the rest of the top 5 behind those top 2, they're looking not only for a race win tonight, but their first iSCAR win overall. You see Keola Hankins, he doesn't have an iSCAR win, and obviously, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but he doesn't have one. And Mitch Hobbs, Sartaj Mann, all those guys looking for one.
Yeah, Dylan Basin picked up his first iSCAR win recently. He won the Season 2 Super Speedway Challenge finale at Talladega for his first ever win. Of course, Ryan Kendrick, 2 iSCAR championships to his name. He's won quite a few. Hunter up there in the 61 looking for his first win. Max Urich there in the 62. He's looking for his first win. So this top 10, top 15, quite a few guys up here. And of course, I mentioned Joe Berge in the pre-race came so close on Sunday night. He's up there around 12th or 14th, so you never know what could happen here in these last 3 or 4 laps.
And also there is Hunter Rupp, Andy McDowell, and Joe Berge, who was involved in a couple incidents. He's now back up to the field, the 62 of Max Urich. He's also there as well. Then goes Klein, the 73. Those guys were involved in incidents, but considering the attrition we've had late in the running, those guys have the opportunity to get a possible top 10 out of this thing if they can challenge the guys up front. But I think pretty much the rows behind row 1, I think other than P1, continues to change. We saw a handful of drivers on that outside lane in row 1. They've had their fair share of challenging that 12 for the race lead, and they've all failed. We're going to see if that 77 of Corey Hartz is able to succeed this time around with just 4 laps remaining in this race. This could be the final stint, and if this is the final stint, this could be crucial for the race win of race number 2. Down off of turn 4, the pace car will loom off. Another good jump by the 12 of Hunter Johnson, and
kind of sticking to his back bumper, the 72 of Keola Hankins. Much of him under caution, looking under for the race lead, all the way to the apron. It's a block goes the 12th car of Hunter Johnson. He will keep the position, but that was a close one going into turn number 1.
Yeah, and that Corey H. Hart's machine in the 77 stuck up on the outside, so put Keola Hankins in the 72 up to second place, looking for his first career iSCAR win. There's Sartaj Mon in the 49. Hobbs trying to get down to the bottom, but cannot do it. Now he's still up there. 2 laps to go here at Dover. Will Hunter win once again, or can Keola spoil his party and get his first win?
Yeah, those top 3 cars are all bunched up. Put them under a blanket for the race win. Corey H. Hart slides in line behind the 72 of Keola Hankins. Down the back straight, looking to the inside. Here he goes. That's another PPM car of Sartaj man behind him to help. But into turn number 3, Keola Hankins stuck on the outside. Off of the final corner. 4 more corners around here at Dover International Raceway. 1 lap to go here in iSCAR.
Final lap for Hunter Johnson to take his second win in this season. He goes into turn 1, charging right behind Keola Hankins, trying to make a run for the race win on the back straightaway. He couldn't do it on the outside, and we'll see what happens. Down the back straightaway, all the way to the apron. One final time into turn 3 and 4. They're loose around. Corey Hart saves it, but Hunter Johnson, he's going to go back-to-back wins for Hunter Johnson. He gets it done at Dover.
That's the 3rd time that Hunter Johnson has won at least 2 street stock races in a row. Of course, Season 4 and Season 5 won 5 in a row, and now he's won the first 2 here in Season 10. So an absolutely dominating start here, and I think we have a clear-cut championship favorite as we're a third of the way in now.
Proximity with another win. Go ahead, Charlie.
And that was a race going into turn number 3. I guess Corey Hart and Keola Hankins both put the back bumper to the cars in front of them and almost lost it, but good job to those 2 cars for saving it. And wow, that was a fantastic last run to the finish.
Corey Hart's tried everything he could, but he just could not get to the back bumper of the 12. And with that pressure, with the 72 right behind him, it was even harder as they were going loose into turn 3 and 4. But Proximity Racing adds another win to the resume under Hunter Johnson's name. He takes the win at Dover. He burns it down in front of the stands on the front straightaway. And with that, we'll take a look at your results from Dover International Raceway in race number 2. Hunter Johnson, of course,